Hey, good morning, PracTacular home crew. Well, at least it's my morning. We got sunshine back. Look at that. After a couple of days of storming and pulling in, I don't know, foot and a half of fresh powder on everything, we're back to blue sky and crunchy. I just got back from our local hardware store picking up electrical supplies for today's class. So we got some 12-2 or 14-2 Romex wire. We got some half-inch cable staples. So we should be ready to rock and roll to get these guys started on their rough electrical work order today. That is all good. Hey, shout out to Tanya over there at High Country Lumber. Thank you for always being super kind and a super good professional helper. So we're going to get into the shop and get things rolling, and we'll be able to see some progress on their layout and start of their rough electrical layout. So let me jump out of the car and then I'll give you the beauty shot and then we'll pick it up inside. All right, it's another really crunchy morning, but I'm heading towards the door, but let me swing around. That's what the mountain looks like today. A little gray cloud behind her, but we got sunshine and blue sky all the way to the east. So here we go. All right, let's do the Mr. Rogers thing again and get our boots on. So today with our level 1 students, we are going to get into the rough electrical process for new construction. So I just want to make it clear, what this is all about is not necessarily you guys remodeling your houses or working on your existing homes, but it'll still be super informative because it'll give you an inside look at what's inside all your walls and how, again, electricians run wires and make connections, and more importantly, some of the building code requirements that if you, for whatever reason, are opening up walls and exploring different things in your house, you'll know what to look for. And if it's not there, through this little series, you'll see what needs to be there to make it safe and to code. So it should be super informative for you, okay? And so today they'll be working with their rough framing. They'll be setting the junction boxes. They'll be measuring and laying out where all those things go, because there's code requirements for heights and locations and all that good stuff. And then we'll maybe start drilling holes and pulling wire and that sort of thing. So it'll be a 3-day work order. They have 3 days from now to complete, and we'll keep you informed as we go. So I'm gonna head over to my desk, get all the prep work done, so we'll catch you after class. All right, welcome back. Classes went superb today. So let me share with you a little bit about what they did. And again, we have 2 periods, 4 crews per period, a total of 8 working. And so we get a really good sample of, hey, how are they comprehending the information from, again, visual confirmation and traditional teaching up front. That's what's way up there. And then they transfer what just went into their heads to actually working with their hands in a physical world. So it's a great transition, and this is one of those times because they're learning something completely new, which is this right here, okay? So I've given them additional diagrams and additional dimensions and also little keys and different things that they have to interpret in order to produce the electrical layout into their physical walls. So let me walk you through what we did. Step 1 is actually to work with our layout tools. And so that's a term we use in here and in the trades that says anytime somebody's giving us dimensional information, we need to transfer it from 2 dimensions to 3 dimensions. Therefore, we have to start pulling our layout tools. Layout tool, pencil, speed square, multi-mark tool. Okay, these are the things we've got in our basic compact tool bag that allows us to follow and use the tools that we need. So for what we were doing today, we first had them lay out according to the design where all of the wires are going to be needing to go through, pass through a vertical stud so that we can route the wires according to the plan. So if you're looking at the plan, you can see those dark single lines, and they're kind of curvy and they kind of go all over the place. That's representing our Romex wire, our 14-2 in this case that we're using for this project. And so we had them start laying out. So first of all, I said, well, how many times do you have to actually cut and penetrate through our studs? And they counted, and the majority of them said 4. And I go, nope, you missed one. Where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here it is, top secret. Okay, we got one down there. We have one here. We have one here. We have the wire that goes up. We have one here. And then what they missed was this one way up here. Okay, so we're going through the top plate of our wall into our ceiling section, because right here is going to be an LED light to go over the top of our kitchen. So we had to figure out how we were going to drill it, what direction we needed to drill it, and we had to teach them how to safely use a ladder today. So there is ladder safety that we taught, because in order to drill through here, you can't get your tool because it's blocked by the top of the window. So we got up on a ladder and drilled vertically down. All good, nobody got hurt, 3 points of contact, all that cool stuff about ladders and OSHA requirement, because this dog is what we were using. Okay, so this is a super cool combination drill bit that allows us to bore really nice size holes, 5/8 in particular, and gives us dual function, which is the front tip right here is like a screw, so it is threaded, and when I start to push into the wood material, it grabs those threads and then helps pull it through the actual 2x4. Kind of cool. All these other edges out here, there's 3 points, dun, 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 dun. Those are actually cutting the actual wood as it penetrates through the wood. Very nice. So, good tool. Everybody was successful. It's compact enough because we loaded it into our impact driver so that when we were up in this area, we could still make that horizontal drill through and not be blocked by additional structure. So, bonus there too. Working on ladders, using new drill bits, using new tools, all is well. All right, then we said, have an inspection. So I came over as the electrical inspection, and I made sure their layout was right, and I made sure they were able to make all of those penetrations. And so now we said, we have to lay out for the blocking for our 2 junction boxes on the right and left side of our walls. Okay. Now you got to start reading the plan. Well, how far up is the bottom of the block? How big is the block? How are you going to actually attach it to the framing? So in my world of teaching, instead of this is what you do step by step, we're at 109 days in this thing. I need them to start recalling everything they've learned and be able to go through that critical thinking process in order to learn and execute versus just listen to what Mr. V says and do what he says. So we had a lot of fun today. I don't know how many times I said, I don't know, look at the plan. I don't know, the answer's on the plan. I don't know. And then they'd fill in the blanks. I'll look at the plan, okay, right? So we're looking at the plan, we're measuring, so then we grab our little bit bigger tool, because according to the plan, you need to measure from the bottom or the floor where the bottom plate hits, and we're gonna measure up these vertical studs, and we're gonna make our layout lines, which means we got to use our next 2 tools, obviously a pencil, carpenter's pencil, and our speed square. So I come up the line, I set it, I draw my line, and then I asked them, which side of the line are you going to put this block right here, for example. So they measured to here, bottom of the block, but what we need to know is, are you putting the block down here, or are you putting the block up here? I would say 80% of them put them in the wrong place. So that was a good teachable. And then I reminded them, hey, I taught you the carpenter's communication, which is if I'm drawing a layout line, I need to make sure I tell whoever's next, which side of that line are we putting the object? Are we going above it or are we going below it? Because they don't know if they're not looking at the plan. And so our code is you draw a line like this, and then you put an X on the side that you want. Let me zoom in here. So that's the layout line, and I want you to put the piece above the line where the X is. Simple code. But when you don't do it, you mount it wrong. In fact, those guys over there, they mounted that one wrong. And I saw it from across the shop because it was off by almost 8 inches. There's a different dimension. Did you put it on the top or the bottom? I'm like, oh shoot, put that one on the top, put that one on the bottom. Now they're not parallel in the wall. And so we learn. Super good. So layout, adding blocking. I'm also allowing them to use more of their builder brain because I left some dimensions off intentionally. And I said, if you don't have the dimension, can you figure out, just looking at the drawing, where it might be? And this section right here is where I did it, because I had layout lines for the left stud and then these two middle, this hole and this hole. There were no dimensions. So I don't know how many times out of the 8 crews, it was probably everybody. Yeah, I think it was 8 out of 8. I had to come over because like, Mr. V, where do we put these ones? There's no dimension. I go, well, you got to use your builder brain. I go, look at the design. You see where this horizontal is. So in the design, does it look like it's 3 or 4 inches below it? And they go, yeah, well then 3 or 4 inches below. And so make your marks. So the Sharpie lines were where we're going to drill through in order to have access for our Romex to flow through. And also there are several here, like this one, that has a big old knot right here. So the timber itself, a knot is where a branch was growing out of the tree and then we just build it right down. And it's extremely difficult to drill through or to build with because it's full of pitch and it's dried and it's hard as a rock. And so you need to avoid that as a carpenter. I don't know that as a designer. I did it back in my office. You come out here and I intentionally didn't put that measurement because if I said put it at 36 and you got a big old knot right there, you got to be able to make the choice in the field and go, will it deter or be out of code if I moved it up 1.5 inches to avoid that knot? Carpenters need to be able to have that ability to think, make adjustments in the field, and then execute the plan, and it'll still work out beautiful. But that was a stumbling block because almost everything to this point, I've given them everything, and every single dimension, every single design, blah, 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 everything's got a layout, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm saying, no, 109 days we've been in the shop together. So let's start using that knowledge and applying it into this project, and they did very, very well. So I was super proud of them. Just about all the crews got to the point where we're installing these spacer blocks, and that's a good sign because this was interesting too, and I wanted to show this to you. I'm gonna take this off the stand. So check this out. This crew decided to put 2 up here and 2 down here because the plan didn't say, hey, how are you gonna attach this block to this stud? It just said you need to be here and it needs to be attached strong enough so that we can attach a junction box right here. That's all I said. Well, they made the choice to pilot hole, drill, and put 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, about 1 inch down and a 3/4 of an inch up. Okay, bada bing. Well, when we come over here, this crew decided to do this. Hey, we're gonna clamp it, but we're just gonna put 1 screw in the top and 1 screw in the bottom. That's where they stopped, by the way. I go, well, is it gonna be strong enough? Well, how strong does it need to be, Mr. V? I go, well, look at the plan. What's gonna be attached to it? Oh, it's a single gang junction box. Okay, well, what's gonna happen with that? Do you have to, how much weight, how much load? Or is it gonna push and pull? So these physical aspects of what we do is huge. So the same process of creating the ability to have them think critically through it and then create a solution in their mind and then put their hands into it and see if it works. That's what I'm supposed to be doing as a high school shop teacher. So critical thinking, problem solving skills, all day long, every single thing, all the way down to, do we do 1 screw, 2 screw, 3 screws? I don't know. You're the builder, what do you want to try to do? So been having lots of fun with that. And this is a shift that allows them to go from just taking information in and duplicating it to taking a little information in, processing, and then developing and building something bigger and better. That's all good. So that was level 1. Now, one other thing I wanted to share with you, because it was kind of exciting, is this was the first day of our brand new club here on campus, which I've been wanting to be the advisor for or start for 9 years now, and it just happened. So here's the graphic. Dun, da, da, da. The Mammoth High School Small Business Club. Pretty fun, okay? I don't know, I just kind of made that logo up real quick, but had 4 students show up today at lunch, which was a great start. Each one of them have dreams and aspirations of starting and running their own business now or sometime in the future. And so they're excited about the opportunity to do that during high school and being a part of the Small Business Club, which then we're gonna really teach the fundamentals of entrepreneurship and actually start and operate a small business right out of this shop. Super cool. What business are we gonna start, you may ask? Let me show you another part. This again has been part of my life for years and years, which is graphic design combined with printing it on apparel, and now all of a sudden you're in the t-shirt business or the jersey business or the swag business, right? Well, look what we have here. Dun, da, da, da. All right, donated piece of equipment. This is a heat press that allows us to graphically design anything that we can ever dream up and think of. And then I have a vendor that produces the printable screens. We bring it in here and voila, temperature, press, garment. 7 seconds later, psh, open it up, peel back the backer, instant screen print technology right here in the high school. Super good. I shared that with them at lunch today, and they just got fired up. They were ready to start. They already had clients they wanted to talk to, and then I asked them this question right here. Challenge question. How many t-shirts do we need to make and sell in order to raise $100 of net profit? They're like, what's net profit? That was a good question. So yeah, we pay for everything, labor, materials, shipping, freight, everything, boom. And then whatever's left at the end, that's what nets the business that we can actually operate on. Like, oh, that was a good one. Well, I'm gonna show this to them next meeting, but according to the numbers, we need to sell 12. What? 12 shirts and you make $100? Yeah. So if you've ever done fundraising with any student at all, selling chocolate bars, selling whatever, blah, 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 you got to sell a lot of chocolate bars to make $100 of net profit. In the t-shirt business, you got to sell 12. If there was 4 students here, they all have to go sell 3 shirts, and we make $100. That's what I'm going to teach next time. Basic business, baby. Basic business. Entrepreneurship. Introduce that word to them too. That's a fun one. So lots going on in the shop. I'm going to wrap it up and call it a day. So appreciate y'all. Hope this is helpful. Make sure you're putting comments in there. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm just getting started, so I, again, need your help and input. Had one great comment back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just saying I'm learning a lot and it's so fun to watch you. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you so much. So stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow and show you what else is going on in the Mammoth High School shop. Take care, y'all.